I love the guy. You know, they just both seem like zombies.
Time of Mr. Depp getting high or drunk?
I mean, drinking while we were working, yeah. Smoking weed.
And when did you see Mr. Depp with a fat lip?
Either 2015 or 16 during rehearsal.
Incidents of anger with Amber?
I mean, he would talk about frustrations or whatever, and we would try and talk through it, but it wasn't as much anger as it was like confusion and sadness. Why is this not working?
And did you notice any increase or decrease in Mr. Depp's anger when he was drinking or on drugs?
I didn't notice much of a difference.
He became the biggest star in the world. Well, that he was extraordinarily talented.
What do you mean by Mr. Depp's unprofessional behavior in the last 10 years of your representation?
Showing up late to set consistently.
Increasing anger and tendency towards violence?
No.
Have you ever seen Mr. Depp hit a woman?
Objection.
No.
Have you ever seen Mr. Depp throw anything at a woman?
No.
Have you ever seen Mr. Depp kick a woman?
No.
Other than Amber Heard, do you know of any other woman who ever accused Mr. Depp of physical abuse?
No.
Have you ever seen in person any marks on Amber Heard?
No.
Period of time, the last 10 years you represented him, was he ever fired from a movie?
No.
You said that Mr. Depp's reputation...
$10.
Did he use profanity?
Did he use profanity?
Sure.
And Stephen Deuters part of the $300,000 a month full-time staff?
Yes.
Wait, Nathan Deuters and Kevin Murphy, did they get $300,000 each? Or $300,000 like 150? Because goddamn, Johnny pays his people well. Remember Kate James? Kate James was like struggling. She was getting like $25 an hour because Amber wouldn't pay her more. And then when she went full time, she was struggling to get like $50,000 a year salary.
Do you know roughly how much each of them were paid?
Kevin Murphy was probably paid about $250,000 a year, and Stephen and Nathan probably about $125,000 a year.
Do you know how much Jerry Judge was being paid by Mr. Depp as a security guard?
I think Jerry made something like $10,000 a day.
Johnny paying his people well. Amber over here is like, I guess you'll get $25 an hour. Guy's got some
these issues were not big.
vodka box behind him.
And is
two
it
lotions.
Fair to say
and he's got a frat cup too. Some of these red cups. Got 2 bottles of lotion. Got some vodka. What is that? Aviv vodka?
And would it be fair to continue to become more dire between July 2015
is this his office?
up through the time of your termination in March 2016?
Where we at? Sanitizer?
Right, as of the time of the termination.
Lysol wipes? A mega pint of lotion and alcohol.
Your offers of assistance?
No, not Waldman. Amber Heard hates Waldman. They hate each other.
Do you currently represent John C. Depp II, who I will be referring to in this deposition as Mr. Depp or Depp?
Oh, wait. They got Adam Waldman as a... Wait, who? They got Adam Waldman? That's Adam Waldman? Oh, shit. Sorry about that. Ready?
I would instruct the witness not to answer that question on the grounds of attorney-client privilege and attorney work product. He can't answer that question without disclosing communications between himself and his client, Mr. Depp. As you're aware, Ms. Bredehoff, the court has ruled that Mr. Depp has not waived attorney-client privilege and will not be waiving attorney-client privilege. So you're aware of that.
What is your role in this case as counsel for Mr. Depp?
Objection. I would instruct the witness not to answer that question.
Okay, I'll follow the instruction.
I would instruct the witness not to answer that question. That calls for attorney-client privilege.
Okay, I follow the instruction.
Same instruction not to answer. You can't answer that without disclosing attorney-client communications. Would instruct the witness not to answer that question on the grounds that you can't answer that question without disclosing attorney-client communications.
You never saw any, as you would say, element or elements of things that Ms. Heard claimed, right?
See evidence with my own eyes that something she was saying was false?
Yes.
Yes, to some extent I have seen evidence of things that show her statements to be false. On May 21st, 2016, and I always view this as one of her central claims. It was the one she put on the cover of People magazine. It's the one she led with when she went to get her temporary restraining order. The phone to the face incident. Further beaten by some appendage of Mr. Depp in the face. and her hair was pulled. And she showed up on the 27th in court with a lot of bruises on her face. There are 2 police officers, one domestic violence trained female police officer, who've testified over and over and over that there was no damage to the penthouse, which Ms. Heard claimed was destroyed. That's a direct quote, destroyed. There are, I can think of, 9 other witnesses, the majority of whom are either neutral or actually Ms. Heard's own witnesses, who have testified in various forums, various times, that there were no injuries to her face whatsoever between the 21st and the 27th, when suddenly there were bruises.
Who are those 9?
Let's see. Laura Divinier, Melanie Inglesi, Amber's own primary makeup artist. Laura Divinier was Ms. Heard's assistant and decorator, and now works for Elon Musk. Hilda Vargas, Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard's at the time housekeeper. Samantha McMillan, who was Ms. Heard and Mr. Depp's stylist, had a good friend of Ms. Heard. Isaac Baruch, Ms. Heard's and Mr. Depp's friend, and Ms. Heard's neighbor in the penthouses. Trinity Esparza, who was the head of the concierge desk at the Eastern Columbia building, and a friend of Ms. Heard's also. Cornelius Harrell, who I think also worked for the concierge desk, or in any event worked for the Eastern Columbia building, and met with Ms. Heard on the 22nd of May, which meeting was captured on CCTV also. Alejandro Romero, who I believe is head of security at the Eastern Columbia building.
Amber Heard made the mistake of saying that she didn't really get close to the concierge team, so how would they have seen the bruise on her face? But there was CCTV footage of her talking to at least one of them face to face, and they were getting the packages together. And then later on, she's like, well, I had on makeup, so they couldn't see it anyway.
Brandon Patterson also testified about the absence of bruises, because we're talking about the notion of a hoax. These people have given testimony that Ms. Heard was uninjured between the 21st of May up into perhaps the 25th or 26th of May, and then of course she appeared bruised again on the 27th. Some of them have testified that even after the 27th they were with her and she appeared and that she appeared bruised. But during that period between the 21st and the 27th, I'm not sure if I've listed 9 plus the 2 police officers.
Can you just generally describe for me the circumstances under which a domestic incident report is used?
We take a incident report when we determine there is no crime, but that one of the parties is in fear that their life was in danger, or they could be a victim of some type of serious bodily injury. So if
potential victim has visible injuries, or that there are indications at the scene that there has been some sort of violent episode, does the fact that the potential victim declines to make a statement mean that the officers can't go forward?
No, they would need to investigate more, but you do have the visible injury and, evidence of some type of struggle. So they would need to try to get that probable cause to determine that it was a crime. That
if one of the other witnesses took the officers through the entire premises and showed broken glass, spilled wine, and a number of areas of disturbance and vandalism, what would the officers' obligations be then?
The officers would still need to determine if there was enough evidence there from these witness statements and the things that they're seeing to determine if this injury is a result of a crime. The officers still need to do an investigation if there is a visible injury, because they have to determine if it was a crime.
One of your rules.
Doesn't this just prove Amber's case even more wrong? Hello?
All right, cross-examination.
He's analyzing the hashtag trends for Amber Heard.
So you testified that you reviewed a number of hashtags that you deemed were negative towards Ms. Heard. That's right?
Yes.
Justice for Johnny Depp. That's one of them, right?
That's right.
Amber Heard is an abuser. That's one of them.
He's going to say Amber Heard.
We just don't like you, Amber. That's one of them.
That is one of them.
Oh, he's
and the last one was Amber Turd, right?
That is another one.
Do you almost laugh at that?
Amber Turd, right?
That is another one.
Do you almost laugh at that?
These 4 hashtags you identified and searched for, Amber Heard is an abuser and Amber Turd first appeared in 2016, correct? There was any portion of Mr. Waldman's statement that made any reference to Amber Turd?
Not that I've seen.
Right. Do you have an opinion as to whether justice for Johnny Depp is a good thing?
That's not part of my assignment.
Okay. But you'll agree with me, justice in general is a good thing?
Big fan of justice.
All right, me too. No further questions.
All right, redirect. Okay, yes, sir.
Please describe the telephone call from Mr. Depp.
My recollection is that he was very mean, that he called me names.
When you say that he was very mean, what did you mean?
He called me a bitch.
Whether Mr. Depp is being considered for a role in Pirates 6.
No, I don't know one way or the other. I was just going to...
Well, how the fuck were they going to do Pirates 6 without Johnny Depp, though?
That decision doesn't fall within my job responsibility. It's above my head. It's the best way to say it.
Is Disney aware that Mr. Depp has testified under oath that he would not take another Pirates of the Caribbean franchise role for $300 million and a million alpacas?
Alpacas?
Would Disney entertain paying Mr. Depp more than $300 million and provide him with more than a million alpacas to be able to obtain his services for any future Pirates of the Caribbean role?
No.
I'm going to show you what is embarked as deposition exhibit number 52 to Alan Horn. Who's that?
He was our co-chairman.
Point in time did your relationship with Mr. Depp take a romantic turn?
1994.
Any negative vibes?
He had an assistant. I don't know his name. He was referred to as Pig.
He was referred to by whom as Pig?
Johnny Depp.
At any point that you were either initially friends and then sexual with Mr. Depp?
He was drunk all the time, a lot of the time.
In 1994.
Mr. Depp's behavior changed when he drank
lose
more
count
or
after like
used more
25.
drugs.
I did not.
So he was kind of the same all the time, fair to say?
He was not the same. He was high.
The bottle hit you?
No, it did not.
Did the bottle hit anyone else?
No, it did not.
What substances Mr. Depp had issues with?
Marijuana. Alcohol. Opiates, I believe.
Marijuana.
Did you ever have an understanding that Mr. Depp had anxiety syndrome?
I knew
Stimulant?
Mr. Depp had anxiety.
Did you ever talk to Mr. Depp about what he did when Marilyn Manson would visit?
No.
2015, there were times where Mr. Depp broke his sobriety with drugs or alcohol.
They both have a glorious mustache.
I believe so. Yes.
I like this picture right there.
Mr. Depp was talking to you about in his relationship with his fiance. What does it say?
Such a pain in the ass.
Do you recall why he was saying Amber was a pain in the ass?
No, he didn't want to be his dad, abandoning like his dad. Wake up to fight devil.
You know what that's referring to? Wait up to fight devil?
I think he referred to a devil as some version of internal depression and chaos that he felt, something like an everyday phenomenon. He felt he was struggling. Label that as a devil.
So the devil was something horrible inside of himself, correct? That's what Mr.
Again, I don't think he ever said that, so I'm going to be careful here. The devil was the representation of the battle that he had many days when he woke up with the depression and anxiety and fears that he had.
The lawyer was like, oh, the devil that had inside him? The monster?
Himself as a monster?
I told you, the monster.
Remember the word monster in my office, but I don't know if it's referring to himself or not. Maybe that'll be more revealed as we go forward.
Or Amber.
Now,
here I can say with certainty his words, shit with my girl.
And what's that referring to?
The shit on the bed.
Difficulty he was having with Amber.
And to the right, it says Amber what?
Amber wedding. may not want to go to marriage, 51 years old, something of vulnerability, instances of vulnerability, an internal fear parallel to vulnerability in childhood.
All right, so what we learned from that, Johnny Depp is a normal human who has jealousy
Your Honor,
issues
our next
potentially.
witness is Eric George. He was the attorney for Amber relating to the op-ed.
Has anxiety.
Will you please stay?
And issue with marijuana. Something about Mexican pizza.
Did Ms. Heard have a successful career at the time you began working with her?
Yes.
She looked down. Yes.
Did you ever, at any point in time, see Mr. Depp hit Ms. Heard?
No. There were online rumors for a while that she was being replaced.
When did you first hear about those?
First, I don't know exactly when, but it was way before. It was way before this. It was maybe even a year before this.
Is this consistent with what Warner Brothers
So it was leaked that she was an abuser, and now she's trying to blame everyone else except for her.
originally
Externalization of blame, Dr.
gave as the
Curry.
rationale for not using her in Aquaman 2?
The lack of chemistry between her and Jason.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, and also